Okay, guys, so we're gonna go over today's trades. Today we traded two stocks, OPGN and GEVO, GEVO. First, we'll go over OPGN. So we kind of want to start off with today. Just today was not very clean. We did not have anything really that was standing out pre-market that was obvious, and nothing really out of the gates. As you can tell here, I mean, as soon as the gates opened, this thing just flushed. So this was OPGN. We'll see, this is where we can see that it moved from $2 from 210 up to a high of 374. Here we had several little pullbacks here, potential, 5 minute bull flag entries. Here we had a move from 210 up to 310, pulled back, which this right here is really choppy action. It's not really anything clean. Here we had a little pullback. I was gonna say a nice pullback, but I'm pretty sure it was not clean. It looks clean, but it wasn't. So from 290 up to a high of 342, pulled back, another bull flag, popped up to 366, pulled back. This might have been the cleanest uh, bull flag here over 355 for a squeeze up to 374. So nice little 20 cents. And then here you can see if this would have kind of just consolidated here, opened, and then just stayed around this level for a move higher, that would have been nice, but that was not the case. We'll look at the 1 minute chart so we can see in more detail. I mean, this right here, it did make a move, but I remember now it was kind of out of nowhere. So it was trading here on light volume, kind of felt like it was in a just fell, and then out of nowhere it just popped up here. That was probably the biggest move of the whole pre-market, except this first candle. So that was that, and the place that I got in, I was kind of watching it for a break of 360 for a squeeze higher. So it opened around 350, and it just was kind of trading around 355. So as soon as it opened 350, I saw green volume coming in, buying. So I threw the order to buy some shares, and I got filled. It flushed, and luckily I got filled on that flush at 343. I was waiting for the move higher, but it only went up to about 349. So I just took my profit and I was out of that position. Good thing, because it came all the way down to 323, and then it just failed the rest of the day. Extremely weak. I mean, that's the best way to describe the stock. Weak. Now let's look at the daily chart and see if you know the daily chart gave us some kind of indication of weakness. So yes, I mean, we do have a lot of these big red candles. Those are a sign of weakness. We have a lot of red candles here, big red candles. We have this huge one here, and then here we can see that it gapped up, but it could not hold that level, and it failed to 376 down to 311, and then here it did the same. It gapped up, or actually it didn't gap up, but it kind of just opened around the place where it closed the previous day, and then it just failed, pretty weak. And then a bunch of red candles here. They are a little bit lighter volume, and again this one popped up almost to the 200 EMA, and it just faded off of that level. So extremely weak, an extremely weak stock. So that's just something to keep an eye on, just to remember. So the other stock that I traded was GEVO. GEVO, I over traded this stock. I don't think I've ever traded the way I traded today on GEVO, and I guess because it was so cheap that I took the size that I did, which I don't usually do, but I did anyways. So GEVO was popping up pre-market, and it popped up. It made a pretty nice move from 55 cents up to a high of 99 cents, and here just kind of consolidated right under that whole dollar. So we were watching for a move higher, break of $1 and maybe trading it above $1 for potential halts going up. Those cheap stocks, they usually halt every 15 cents and they open up a little bit higher. You can really load up on share size with that $1 share uh, stock, $1 per share stock. So here we can see that the way that I traded this, I was trying to buy breakouts, which my entries were very poor. I'm gonna admit it. So here on this one, I jumped in at the very high of this candle. I mean, the correct entry would have been at over 98 over the break of the whole dollar. So that was kind of obvious that it was going to break the whole dollar and then squeeze up. But I waited till it got way up here, jumped in at 108. It did not go any higher, so I bailed out, break even, pulled back. 1 minute candle over 105 for a squeeze up to 112, so 7 cents right there. On this first trade, I took like 2,000 shares, 2,100 shares. I've never taken that big of a size. I kind of liked it. I had the adrenaline was running. It's just usually I trade with very small share size. Nothing compares to that, but I did today, and it ended up being a break even trade on that one, which was I'm okay. I just kind of I enjoy the feeling of trading 2,000 shares. Even though it's a break even trade, I would much rather it be a break even instead of a red trade. So, anyways, here it popped up to 112, pulled back, showing weakness, broke the VWAP. It popped up. I jumped in again here on this orange candle, orange arrow for a micro pullback. It did not go, so I stopped out, almost break even. These trades were pretty small losses, which was okay. Like this one was almost like it was a 1 cent loss. This one was a 4 cent loss, and this one was like a 4 cent win. So on this one, I jumped in a little bit too high, way too high. Entry was at 109, candle to make a new high. I jumped in right under 115 and sold down here at 110. The correct entry would have been here at 109 for a move up to 115, or potentially at 115 for the micro pullback. But it just did not work, and I got in too high, so I stopped out, kept the losses small, and then here, it popped up, pulled back, it popped up. This was a pretty nice clean from one move from 109 up to a high of 122. That was probably one of the biggest moves, in a set of consecutive candles. And so I bought on this little dip down to 116, 117, sold up here around 121. That was that was probably the biggest winner on GEVO that I took. Yeah, because that was the last trade, and it never fails. I mean, that was the smallest share size that I took out of all these trades, was that last one, and it ended up being the bigger winner of 4 total trades. But it happens, and so that was it. That was all of the trades for today. It was pretty choppy. It was not clean. This stock GEVO had like 100. Whenever I signed off, it had like 150 million shares traded on the morning, and that is ridiculously high. I mean, total day traded was 986 million shares. That's a lot. Other days is like 1.9 million. Yesterday was 1.9 million. Today was 986.9 million. So that's ridiculous. Uh, so something to keep an eye on. So today was slow. Yesterday was hot. The day before was slow. It's like a pattern. One day it's hot, one day it's cold, one day it's hot, one day it's cold. So today was cold, so it'd be interesting to see what it does tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, it might be a hot day, so we'll keep an eye on stuff and see how it reacts. We'll keep an eye on, see if we get any gap and go setups, any pullbacks. I believe pullbacks is what was working yesterday, so maybe pullbacks is what works tomorrow. So we'll just see. We'll see what happens.